dance with the devil by the pale moonlight.
Dans notre quotidien, c'est sur Terre, oui.
Look in my eyes, what do you see? The cult of personality. I know your anger, I know your dreams. I've been everything you wanna be. Oh, I'm the cult.
Welcome back to episode 9 of Rebel Scum Radio. This week we talk some Star Wars news with the Rebels Season 2 finale. We look forward to the Lego Force Awakens Star Wars game, and we also look forward to comic books and books in the lead up to Rogue One, Daisy Ridley as Tomb Raider, and in New Zealand, Domino's are trialling some autonomous pizza delivery bots. We'll see how that goes, but most importantly, we have our Superman versus Batman
Review.
mega movie review. Jono, how are you? Midnight special. We've just seen the film a matter of hours ago.
Special. Shine a light on me.
I wish it would shine a light on me.
Special.
So we're going to be talking about that.
We'll find out about that later.
Yeah, so just warning ahead. So in about 15 minutes, there will be spoilers
Yeah.
in Superman. Like,
We're just going to rant about it.
we need to say stuff. We can't sit idly by and let this go unsaid. Anyway, let's quickly get through the Star Wars stuff. So March 30th, Star Wars Rebels 2 wraps up with technically a 2-episode finale. It's now
I'm 2 episodes behind. I'm on episode 14.
Yeah. So so you're a couple behind. So this is the big finale, the big showdown between Ahsoka Tano and Darth Vader.
Ooh.
Apprentice versus the Master. So all very exciting. The trailer's up on rebelscumradio.com. You can check that out. And once it drops and we watch it, we'll be writing up a season review for Rebels 2. So that'll be very exciting. Yeah, so March 30th in US, which is March 29th here in Australia. March 31st.
31st.
31st, yeah. So
You're going back in time.
yeah, we are. But with daylight saving and all that kind of stuff.
We're running on like an hour's sleep.
Yeah,
or less.
We couldn't sleep after Superman and Batman there was a mixture of rage and befuddlement. So, but we'll talk about it a little bit later. Yeah, so that is some interesting news out of Star Wars Rebels. Could have ramifications, the outcome of that, into possibly whether characters like Ahsoka Tano turn up in as special characters in Rogue One. Because it's set in the same time space before A New Hope. So we'll see what happens with that. Also, speaking of Rogue One, we've also got, obviously, it was recently announced that in the lead up to Rogue One, Marvel will be releasing a set of comic books called Rogue One Catalyst, I think it's called.
So it's a prequel to the prequel.
Yeah, So it's a prequel to that movie. And then obviously there'll also be a standalone novel, which will all come out. They'll all be released on October 16th, so about a month before the movie.
Okay.
So I think they're going to be essential reading kind of.
Have they said the price about the?
No. There's hardly anything known other than they're going to exist. I don't even think they've got. Writers or anything yet for them. So it will be interesting to see what they do and whether
It's going to be a completely new story.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see what they do with existing characters in the Star Wars universe and how much they give away of the new ones that will be introduced in Rogue One. So whether or not there's spoilers and stuff in there.
Felicity Jones's character.
Yeah.
Have you got a name for her?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. No, I don't think they have. So there's very little news coming out about Rogue One at the moment anyway. Obviously, also with Star Wars, and this goes back to Force Awakens, trailer out this week, and the game release of Star Wars Force Awakens in Lego, which probably are some of the best video games of Star Wars. Like
the trailer was funny as.
Trailer's insane. We'll put that up on our website as well this week. I'll be setting up a Twitch channel actually for rebelscumradio.com, and we'll start doing some gameplay stuff on there, which we'll be posting on our website, and we'll also be sending out tweets and Facebook posts live and stuff when we're doing that live. So
Sweet.
you can chat and play with us online. So that's an exciting thing, and we'll have a review of that once we get a chance to play it through up on the website as well. So now this is half Star Wars news and half Tomb Raider news.
Yeah.
A little bit of gaming news. So
Daisy Ridley.
Daisy Ridley.
She confirmed that she had talks with them.
Yeah. I'm not sure whether she's right for Lara Croft.
Wouldn't work.
No, so I'm not sure. I don't know why they don't get Luddington. Camilla Luddington. Yeah, so
But
Camilla.
Can
I
she
think.
act?
Well, she's an actress, so
Okay.
first, and then a voice actress second. Yeah, so my choice would be her, Camilla, and she kind of looks like her as well,
She does look, yeah.
and she
looks
kind of
young, yeah.
suits kind of if they're doing a Origins reboot again.
Yep.
That emergence from a young, like innocent girl into what Tomb Raider becomes. I think she's perfect.
She has the look, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know why they wouldn't roll with that. I think it'd be a good tie-in with the games, and I think you draw. I mean, obviously popular games anyway, but I think you draw a lot of the new fans of Tomb Raider across to the
What do you
film.
think of the original franchise? With
First-
Angelina Jolie.
I really enjoyed the first
The
film.
first one was good.
Second one was kind of a bit. I don't think it was really thought out too well, but it wasn't bad. But just I think kind of similar to Raiders of the Lost Ark. There's only so many old mythologies you can kind of chase where it kind of stays original. Like, so it's Pandora's Box. So that kind of rules out Pandora Box from any Indiana Jones films and all that kind of stuff, So So anyway, that would be my choice. I'm not sure about her, but I'm guessing there'd be a fair queue of actresses lining up to get a gig on that
Kate Upton.
franchise. Yeah, because you'd imagine there'd be three of them at least. And I don't know whether or not mixing the Star Wars with Tomb Raider in terms of if she starts doing Tomb Raider, is she going to have time to do future Star Wars films with Disney saying there's going to be another 5 after the current trilogy?
Who owns the rights to Tomb Raider?
I've got no idea. But it really doesn't matter because in terms of schedules and stuff, it'll be pretty impossible.
Yeah.
Like with so many Star Wars films coming out.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you finish one, you film another. How do you fit in a Tomb Raider film amongst Star Wars films? So it'd be difficult. It will be difficult. Now, we're going to wrap this little intro bit up. It's going to be a short one this week because we really want to get into Star Wars and Superman.
Star Wars and Superman.
Star Wars and Superman. This is how tired we are. Tired. Midnight, finished film, didn't start till like 1:45 or something. So many trailers.
So many ads.
Yeah, and then, just 2.5 hour films. So that's quite long. And then get woke up at 9 o'clock when you're just trying to sleep by unruly people calling you on your phone. So, the last story we're going to wrap this one up is an interesting one. So Domino's in New Zealand, they're rolling out some trials of autonomous pizza delivery bots. They we'll put an article about this up on Rebel Scum.
It looks like a rover. It looks like a rover.
Yeah, it looks like Mars rover, kind of mini smart car looking thing. So this is going to keep your drinks cold and your pizza hot. It's got a range of 20k. It's pretty good.
Okay. What's the speed?
It doesn't say the speed actually in the thing, but I imagine it'd be reasonably fast because otherwise, if they roll it out in Doveton here, they'll be running out in the streets and just tearing the thing apart before you even got your pizza. I fear for the robots in certain suburbs. They would need some kind of weapon, some kind of weaponry.
They need somebody to go with the robot.
Maybe like a protective flying drone that goes over sits over the robot. So,
but what if there were like 5 deliveries in the same lane, and then 5 of those robots had to go to the same lane? Imagine that on this. Yeah,
well, it's just, they kind of described how the system works in here, and it's kind of like so it's a couple of meters tall. So when the robot turns up at your front door, you've got to type in a code to get your stuff out.
Oh, so it's inside the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
otherwise, somebody could just lift the pizza off the thing and just run away.
Well, that's true.
If it was on top of it.
Like imagine, hopefully they got sensors on them and stuff because you don't want a cat to run out in front of your pizza robot and all of a sudden you've got this flat cat on the pavement. It doesn't say whether they go on the pavement or the road. I'm going to assume because of their size.
It has to be the pavement.
Well, I'm not sure. Anyway, we're going to follow how this trial goes.
It might come to Melbourne soon since it's in New Zealand.
Yeah. Well, you'd imagine so. They usually trial that kind of stuff in Australia and New Zealand first. So we'll see what happens.
That's cool.
I don't know. Are we going into the land of fucking Terminator here? Are our pizza robots going to take over the world and shoot us in our face? I don't know. We'll see. But that's the end of our little intro here. So we'll put all these articles up on our website, get you guys some more information. It's a nice little video introducing the actual robot technology that will kind of be behind.
So it's functioning in New Zealand right now? Oh.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. So this was
from
a few days ago.
I wonder if it delivers pippies too in the
some pippies?
Yeah.
Some pippies? I'll just grab my I'll grab my pizza and I'll just grab my Coca-Cola out of the chili bin. Oh, Jesus. So that's it. That's the end of our intro. We can't hold back anymore.
You have to talk about
after the music. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about Superman versus Batman. Everything good about it and everything bad about it. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Here.
Keep busting.
And where is the Batman?
Welcome back. We're here.
We're back, baby.
Jono, are you ready?
Yep.
Are you ready to let go?
I'm ready.
Ready to let loose?
Wait.
Superman versus Batman. We went to the midnight screening last night. Yep. We were believers in the hype. We're all ready to go.
But then the reviews came out.
Yeah. Still, we believed. I think
I still had hope.
Like we were walking in the cinema and we've just gone, it's not going to be bad.
It can't be as bad as Green
It can't be bad. It can't be as bad as Green Lantern. It can't be bad as Green Lantern. There's no way it's going to be that bad. And then also, we just had a discussion before the podcast saying it's not as bad as Green Lantern and it's not as bad as the last reboot of Fantastic Four.
No.
And then we start getting a bit closer to where it sits from there. So, Batman vs. Superman, just to clear up, takes place a year and a half after the Man of Steel film.
Yep.
Which pretty solid film.
Yeah.
I know there were lots of haters about the end of the film.
I like Man of Steel, yeah.
Yeah, but I think there were lots of people that didn't like the end and the confrontation at the end and how so
much destruction
and death, which Superman would think
there was
about.
destruction in Transformers. There was destruction in Avengers.
Yeah, but
Age of Ultron.
Yeah, but it goes against the Superman ethos.
Where he shouldn't destroy stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of like he's the hero. While Transformers is the same, but it's kind of like they destroy the city, but you hardly ever see a human being in there.
Exactly.
They're like barren. It's like there's five people that live in Chicago apparently. So walking through it now, we're going to reiterate that this has spoilers in it.
Yeah, heaps of spoilers.
So please turn off if you intend to see the film. So we'll start with the Batman origin story playing out again.
For was it the fourth time?
Yeah.
You've seen it?
Yeah. I don't know. I was sitting next to Jono in the cinema, and right at the start, young Bruce Wayne's running through the woods, and I've just gone...
He's going to fall through it.
He's going to fall through a hole into a Batcave.
And he did.
He did. Like a couple minutes later, just go, what is this shit?
But that was a big drop, though. It seemed like a 20-foot drop.
Yeah.
And nothing happened to him.
Yeah, he just got up, he dusted himself off. Oh, he was a bit groggy.
Yeah.
He was a bit groggy. But
and then he sees the bats, and then the bats...
all flying and circle him. And somehow
somehow he levitates. I don't know if that was... I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I don't know whether or not that was just a
dream
or just like the cinematographers just want to visually get a story across rather than actually being real. But yeah, I don't know. I was shitting myself at that point. I remember putting my hands to my head and just going, oh no.
They shouldn't have had an origin story because we've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
They should have started with Batman taking out some villains in a warehouse or something.
Yeah. It's just a bit weird. They don't.
That would have got you pumped up for the rest of the movie because you're like, the first act was so boring, and then you were like, where's the action?
Yeah, there was this weird kind of. You had this really steady pace and feel to the movie up to maybe 2/3 of the way through, and then all of a sudden there's this little switch of, I don't know, and just, to me it almost felt like it switched from DC to Marvel, like just this weird, the dark broodingness that was all through the start of the film changed into like an action film in like 2 seconds.
Like minute cheesy.
A couple of cheesy jokes and that weren't...
Didn't even fit.
Yeah, it was just... We'll go through all that a bit later anyway. We'll step through this film. So anyway, with this film, it kind of goes back to a little bit towards Frank Miller's 1986 comic book, The Dark Knight Returns. Even Zack Snyder said it's kind of loosely based on that, but not necessarily completely tied to that. So Batman is a slightly older, grizzled kind of a Batman. He's still got issues with his parents and all that kind of stuff. And Superman is kind of, I guess, being portrayed as like a tool of the government to control and use stuff, even though they don't really have control of him. So that's kind of like the balance of ideologies between the two, but that never really becomes clear. No. You never really know what Batman's motives are.
Before the big fight, they only meet for a few seconds.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, there's this list of things that you could say, oh, that's why Batman's... Oh, that's why.
But you weren't sure like why they started fighting in the first place. Like,
yeah, it's kind of like when he's driving through Metropolis and the city's being destroyed.
Bruce Wayne,
Yeah. It's kind of like, is that it? That he kind of sees the power of Superman and that he needs to do something about it because he's out of control and it's not good for mankind. Is he... But then again, you have the origin story from his parents and he's kind of... Is he still traumatized about that? And he's like older now and he's never really got resolution and he's fucking shitty about that. Or does he just see everyone's trust in Superman and kind of distrust in Batman? In Batman is like not fair.
Yeah.
It's... I don't know. it's just weird. And has he actually been dragged into all this by actions and stuff that he can't see from Lex Luthor? Has Lex Luthor actually organised all this stuff to happen?
But he needed something substantial for him to really go against Superman.
Yeah.
Which you
but I never saw
saw
that.
You never really saw that.
It's kind of like, why doesn't he like Superman? Like I know, like he saw the damage of the city, but he must have known that Superman was trying to protect the city from Zod.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
pretty obvious, yeah.
So it's kind of like, why wouldn't he, like, he's destroyed parts of Gotham and stuff in his fights with the Joker and shit. So what's the?
Don't be a hypocrite.
Yeah, I just. Zack Snyder really struggled to communicate the motives of Batman, and I think, and it was so early on that you kind of got confused early on. Yeah. It you never got emotionally involved in it.
And you tried to get involved, but then the scenes kept cutting from one scene to another. It was like, each scene was like, less than a minute? Even less?
You'd be lucky if they were two.
Yeah, it just kept cutting from scene to scene, to scene, and you couldn't keep track of what was going on.
No emotional builds or anything in there at all. Yeah, just motivations that everyone are unclear, including the villains with Lex Luthor. It's just, what are his motives? Was this actually entire film? Yeah, like I was just, was this entire film actually a Lex Luthor origin story rather than Batman and Superman? Because that's what it kind of ended up like. It's kind of like, what the hell is this?
Because it's like a schizophrenic Lex.
Yeah.
And then maybe later becomes more articulated.
Because all fans know that with Justice League coming up and everything, and we know the ethos is that everyone was sitting there knew that Batman and Superman would be happy friends at the end.
Yeah.
Like,
it was obvious,
like it's not going to happen, right? So this is a Lex Luthor origin story as far as I'm concerned, and then they'll bring Lex Luthor back into the storyline, maybe with Suicide Squad and other movies down the line. Overall, this should have been a great film, and there is a great film and story in there, but Zack Snyder didn't get it out. He just didn't.
You know what? He should have used the plot line from The Dark Knight Returns.
Oh yeah,
where the government uses Superman to try and stop Batman. Just simple. Just use that. That would have been so much easier instead of trying to complicate it.
Yeah. It was just overcomplicated. Yeah. Even the little things in the film that were just, why are they in there? Like when he's about to confront Superman and they cut to that training montage where he's banging big tires with hammers and
doing a chest press, pulling tires.
Yeah, what else is he doing? He's pulling stuff around and lifting weights and just like you realise he shoots lasers out of his eyes that can cut you in half.
Like, it's gonna do nothing.
Just forget about that. Just go have a burger. It's not gonna make any freaking difference. Just crazy stuff like that, and it's kind of like, did they just put this in so Ben Affleck could put his top off?
And show some abs.
Yeah, it's kind of like, this is no point to the film. Like,
that didn't make any sense.
And it actually makes the film feel stupid.
Yeah.
Because the first thing you just go, he's a guy, a regular guy with good skills and stuff, and but he's Superman. Like, you can train as hard as the hell you want.
It's not going to make any difference.
No, you've got to work on your tech, not on your abs.
They should have given more scenes towards the tech, how he made the suit or something.
Like there's no. What they really needed in this film was a bit of Lucius Fox. Like to work to work on the tech and analyze the skills of Superman a bit more, and like bring that confrontation of, this is what Batman's got, this is what Superman's got, and make it obvious, and just so you can see that it's a bit more equal than you think it is.
Because the suit just appears out of nowhere, and you're like, where did that come from?
Yeah,
I even have Alfred say, "Sir, the suit is ready." Yeah, and then he goes down, puts the suit on. No, nothing. That wasn't there at all. Yeah,
it's nothing. It doesn't even explain what the suit actually does.
Yeah.
Like, is it just a metal suit? Yeah. Is it made of something special? Like, if it's just metal, he can crush any metal anyway, so I don't really...
It seemed pretty heavy when he was walking.
Like, I assume it was like an exoskeleton or something, but they never explained that. So it was unbelievable. And During that battle, there are other things that happen later on. When in their main fight, Batman ends up getting the upper hand.
Yep.
And this is the crucial turning point of the film that the film is completely based upon. Everything that happens in Justice League, everything that happens in the DC comic universe, in the new films we're getting, is completely based upon Batman's mother and Superman's mother having the same freaking name. Because if Superman's mum was named Denise, Superman gets a bloody Krypton fork in the eye and there's no more, and then the world goes to hell. That is the premise which Zack Snyder wants us to live by.
I think because he was about to kill him, and then he says, "Martha,
Martha, what do you mean, Martha? What do you mean,
where do you hear that name? Where do you hear that name?"
Yeah. And then it's like I was actually waiting for a trickle down the eye, just a little bit of tear down the eye. But I was like, Is this what it's come to?
The name of his mum.
The name of the mum saved his life. And it's just like, this is rubbish.
Like if it was Denise, like you said, who the fuck's Denise? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't know Denise. And then on top of that, he names Martha. Then somehow Lois Lane
was like 50 feet away.
She's got radar hearing. She's got hearing of like a bat, and she's like sprinted across the thing and just
it's
gone.
His mom's name.
It's his mom's name. It's like, what the hell is this shit? That was almost. Zip up the jacket, walk out of the cinema time. I was just about done.
Superman gets up and then they're talking to each other. Yeah. Like nothing happened.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's like, we didn't fight each other for the last half an hour. You didn't try to poison me with kryptonite gas and stab me with a spear. That's fine, mate. It's all right.
All good, mate.
Yeah, he's just like Superman just throwing him through like 10 brick walls and shit with his exoskeleton. It's all right. Now we can be friends now because our mums have got the same name.
That didn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, it's like, it's kind of like, I'll forgive you for all of my stands against you destroying an entire city.
Just because our mums have the same name.
Because our mums are named Martha. It's just crazy. Oh, we've got another call.
Hello?
But I'm going to leave that one go. That's probably Zack Snyder on the phone. He's going, I'm demanding you stop this podcast. Hack Snyder. Yeah, Jesus.
I love Zack Snyder up until this one. Like, Watchmen is one of my favorite comic book movies of all time.
Yeah, it is good.
But I don't know what went wrong here. If maybe the execs got involved.
It felt like the point when Superman's mum gets saved.
Yep.
And you've got that really cheesy joke in there. I'm a friend of your... I'm a
friend of your son.
Friend of your son, and just goes, yeah, I thought you were or something.
Because it must be because I saw the cape.
Yeah, some stupid joke. And everyone did laugh.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like... Shouldn't have been laughing at that point. Like It's kind of like... It was almost a point where they're starting to build up the intensity of the film, and then all of a sudden the tone of the film changed into that... That was like kind of like a Marvel moment, like that Tony Stark type joke out of nowhere. That's kind of like, Jesus. So,
and when I found out that Chris Terrio was writing the script, who wrote Argo, you've seen Argo?
Yeah. That's a great film.
Because I was like, it's going to be awesome. He's a good writer. He won an Academy Award.
Yeah,
but no,
it feels like someone meddled in the film.
Yeah,
like
somebody changed something
from outside.
Yeah.
It's like they finished the film. And like a set of marketing executives have just gone, we need you to change the end of the film.
Yeah.
Like, we can't have this end. That's what it felt like. So, I don't know whether it was.
The dialogue was really good.
Yeah. When they had it.
Yeah.
When it lasted for more than a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Jesus. So it started going bad from that point.
Yeah.
It quickly accelerated into the Doomsday battle.
Yeah.
Now, Doomsday, everyone would have seen the trailer, kind of looks like the troll from Lord of the Rings or the Hobbits, whatever the film is.
He looked like a toad before he took his real form.
Jesus.
The CGI was horrendous.
And the battle is so short for the build-up.
Was it 5 minutes?
Maybe 5 minutes. And just to fill everyone in, like...
There's so much like... what do you call it? Lightning? I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's obviously those scenes are heavily CGI'd and to a certain extent the film is CGI'd. But the main problem with the battle is that you've got Superman and Batman coming together who haven't really built up a relationship with one another. It's maybe been for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, about to face off together, then Wonder Woman just drops in.
Shows up out of nowhere. And then like
and there's no dialogue between any of them. It's just kind of like nothing.
Is she with you?
Yeah, she with you.
I
Yeah.
thought she was with you.
Yeah. And when you consider that early on in the film that Batman actually, well, he did email her, remember? Or Messenger, asking about, is this you in the photo?
Oh, yeah. It was MSN Messenger.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, what is this? And it's a shame they hardly give Wonder Woman any dialogue. Well, they did beforehand.
When she was playing Diana.
Yeah, when she was playing Diana Prince. But it was in the battles as Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Actually, as Wonder Woman. It's like they're all mute.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm pretty sure that Batman... I'm 100% sure that Superman didn't say a single word to Wonder Woman in the film.
No, he does when she blocks the heat vision from Doomsday.
Oh, he does?
He says something, yeah. Like,
Thanks. Thanks, mate.
Thanks.
Oh, thanks,
babe.
Thanks, babe. Yeah. It's just... it's like three superhero strangers.
Yeah. Meet and then just
battle it out. Yeah. And there's no real... As a team, as a collective, you don't feel, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, when Wonder Woman drops in, you just go, that's awesome. And
they should have spent the movie gelling them together, like, and then suddenly...
Yeah. They probably should have gelled Batman and Wonder Woman together as friends early on. Like, trying to, in a way, communicate with Superman and just say, no, you got to stop doing what you're doing and blah, blah, blah. And then... Maybe the Batman-Superman confrontation comes and then she comes into that confrontation rather than the Doomsday one. Like,
they should have left Doomsday because it was a waste of Doomsday. He's such a good villain.
Yeah.
They just wasted him in the short time.
Yeah. Because
should have saved him for another movie.
Yeah. And they could have built that kind of Justice League team around that.
Where Wonder Woman comes, she stops the battle.
Yeah.
And then she says, look, it's Lex that has got you guys doing this.
Yeah.
And then they start.
Yeah, and maybe at the end of the film, hint at Doomsday in the next film.
Yeah.
Like, hint that's Lex's plan for Doomsday.
Yeah.
Rather than just waste it.
Yeah.
Like,
it was such a waste.
Like, it's such a disappointing, like, I guess from gaming point, like a boss battle at the end.
Because that's one of the pinnacles where Doomsday meets Superman.
Yeah.
In the comic book.
It was... Anyway,
Zach, you were the chosen one.
Zach, it's just and then also, I guess the other thing that we need to discuss is in the main battle as well, the music,
the rock opera type
stuff going on.
Yeah. That was Junkie XL.
Junkie XL. I didn't particularly like it. I was sitting there. It's kind of like this is kind of like an electronic, like a Tarantino thing going on here. Is that what they're trying to get across here? Is this? I don't know.
That was when Wonder Woman showed up.
Yeah. And it was kind of, I was sitting there and thinking, nah, it's all right. And then a couple of minutes, and then I just, nah, it's not all right.
Yeah.
It's not quite working. I don't know. Did they just, is it one of those things where they ask someone to write a song for a film?
Yeah. And
then they use it, even though it's maybe not quite right? You know, especially from a pop artist, rather than someone like John Williams who would like score something rather than Junkie XL who's writing a pop song for a film, kind of like a Ray Parker Jr. song or something. It's kind of like not quite right.
But the other themes are good. The ones done by Hans Zimmer. The intro is really good.
Yeah, I mean the soundtrack's pretty good. It's just that that song's not.
Yeah,
and it stood out to me in the film as they needed something more
drums.
More dramatic that kind of builds the battle.
Yeah.
And it was kind of just a pop song playing in the back of the fight.
Yeah.
It was.
It felt like the guitarist from Mad Max was somewhere there playing his guitar.
Mad Max. That being, now we've kind of downcovered, and we're not going to give all the spoilers away. No. There are things that happen in the battle that we won't talk about.
Yeah, we'll save that. That's
so we won't spoil necessarily the end of the film or what comes out of it. But There are some positives in the film. Like
Batman.
Ben Affleck does portray a reasonably good Batman that I think he could flesh out more in later films.
And a great Bruce Wayne too.
Yeah, it's a nice, whilst it's not, there's enough of a tie-in with the Dark Knight films where you kind of get that feel that I think people accept it and he'll be fine. I think Ben Affleck made the most of what he was given by Zach in this case, so I think he did well. Because I remember when we were sitting in the office, it would have been 3 years ago now, and they announced Ben Affleck was Batman. I remember going into a rage. I went into a rage that day. Ben Affleck, what the hell is this? But no, he worked out well. So that was good.
Especially the fight scene where he saves Martha Kent.
Yes.
That was one of the best fight scenes I've seen in a while in a movie.
Yes, it is. It's good.
Because you really see the power of Batman. Unlike in the Christopher Nolan movies, it's like shaky cam and you can't pay attention to the fights.
Yep.
And it keeps changing from angle to angle, but this one was really good.
Yeah, no, he was good. It'll be interesting to see
how they try to shoot him in the back of the head, but it bounces off the cowl.
Yeah. So I'm not concerned about future films where Ben Affleck's involved. I think he'll be fine.
A solo Batman movie, I think I have really.
I mean, like
I think if he directs it, it'll be good.
Yeah. It'll be fine. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman is probably the highlight of the film. Really, really good as both her alter ego, Dana Prince, and then later on when she emerges as Wonder Woman. I guess, in a sense, like, because we've seen Superman and Batman films before, having a good, believable Wonder Woman drop in is like the saving grace of the film. Yeah. It gives purpose to the film, because otherwise it's kind of purposeless, other than, as I discussed before, Alex's origin story. Because the Batman and Superman storyline is kind of nothing. You know the outcome. They're
going to be friends.
Like, they're going to be friends. So probably in that sense, because she was so good in those moments she did have, it's a shame, like we said before, she didn't get more exposure early in the film in the relationships between the other two. Yeah. Because if they would have given her more time, it would have been a better film.
I doubted her when they made the announcement that Gal Gadot was going to be... Gal Gadot?
Yes.
Was going to be Wonder Woman, but she shut the haters.
Yes, she did. Yeah. Yes, she did, and I'm glad she did. Yeah, because if that didn't work, then
that would have been Green Lantern level.
If Wonder Woman's not in this film, then this is Fantastic Four. It's not. It wouldn't be as bad as Green Lantern, but it'd be Fantastic Four stuff. It'd be really mundane, and towards the end, broken story that wouldn't quite work. That's overly CGI'd. So. Yes, just her character, limited throughout the movie as it is, held the entire thing together. Yeah. So it was good that she was there. Now, also, we got exposed to some other members of the Justice League within the film.
For a few seconds.
A few little segments, just showing off their appearance. So,
do you want to see how they find it, or do you want to leave that?
We'll just
because they spoiled it anyway.
Yeah, we'll just see who they are anyway. So there's a little introduction to Aquaman,
Flash,
Cyborg, and Wonder Woman was
Wonder Woman. Yeah.
So Wonder Woman played a more pivotal role in the film, and pretty much there was just discussion of the other metahumans within the film. Yeah, and so that's Flash.
They find files on them and
files on them which are. Where did they steal the files from? I can't even remember where they got them from. Lex. Yeah, Lex have been tracking. Yeah, so Flash had an interesting new suit. When I saw him, I was kind of like, he's
in the dream sequence.
Yeah. And then like they cut to the actual video of him in like a 7-Eleven and stuff.
And you remember he says, no, that's when Bruce is sleeping.
Yeah,
and he's dreaming. He says Lewis is the key, but they never went forward with any of that.
I guess where the Flash kind of will sit in with this timeline is that obviously his ability to use his speed to travel back in time and to alternate Earths, he can. What having Flash in any movie series will mean that you can open a portal and bring pretty much any character in from any other alternate Earth, so no one will ever necessarily die.
Yep.
So, and going back in time, you could go back and stop Superman and Zod ever fighting if you wanted to. So you could do a lot of things with Flash and that thing. Cyborg.
Yeah, and Flash, like when you see the clip where he's in the 7-Eleven and he saves.
Oh yeah. I was kind of like
the Chinese.
I was kind of like Flash has turned into a 14-year-old Chinese hipster. What's going on here? He's getting his coconut water from the fridge. I was kind of like, oh, hang on a minute. It's kind of a bit odd. I was kind of like, oh, I mean, I don't care, but it just like shocked me. And then even in the dream sequence, if that's Flash's new suit, which they're going to introduce, I'm down with that. They look good. It's kind of a crossover between the modern one and the old classic Flash. Yeah. So it was good.
It had a bit of red in there. There was red.
There's lots of red and gold, obviously. We'll step through the other two in a minute. The one disappointment I had as part of the Justice League, obviously, I think Green Arrow needs to be included in the films. Yep. I think he's an important part of the Justice League. But
not Stephen Amell.
No. I think he's an important part of it. So hopefully they'll do that in the future. And I know they talked about doing a Green Arrow film as part of the DC world without Stephen Amell. Yep. So hopefully that'll tie in nicely because he's important to the Justice League. Cyborg was also introduced to us. That was
really weird.
That was really weird. It felt and looked like a piece of a TV show put in a film, like it was out of The Flash or Gotham or something. Exactly. It didn't look really good. No. It was looked a bit weird, and then it also kind of went along. I guess most of the people listening to this would be familiar with the reboot of RoboCop and like how the lab looks and how his body looked. Kind of looked.
It looked like a tesseract that was taking over his body.
Yeah, it was. Cyborg isn't a character that I'm really deeply involved in, but when I see him in some of the comic books I read and some of the cartoon DC films that I watch, I think now if I was back when I was in my heyday of comic books, back as a 12, 13, 14-year-old guy, I think it's a character I'd really get drawn to.
Yep.
So hopefully the film will be good because I think the material that's in there for Cyborg will be excellent.
It didn't seem big enough though, because Cyborg is like a big brooding guy.
It'd be interesting to see what they do with in terms of his structure, mechanical body and structure. So, and then the most disappointing one of them all, and the most confusing introduction of a Justice League member I've ever seen was Aquaman.
Do you think they're going to call the movie Aquaman, or are they going to?
Oh, they have to. It'll be Aquaman, King of the Sea, or
King of Atlantis,
some weird stuff. But yeah, Aquaman, who is played by the actor who played Drogo in
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. And he has a physique to play.
He does.
Atlantean.
He's perfect. So there's a little bit of footage where they're kind of in a submarine or something underneath the ocean.
Looks like the Titanic.
Yeah, there's this ship at the bottom of the ocean, and there's a hole in the side of it.
Two glowing eyes come out of the dark.
Two glowing eyes come out. For some reason, the King of Atlantis decides to attack this little...
No, he has tried it and he hesitates, or should I attack this or not?
Yeah.
And then just...
It's kind of like, why would you do that? It's kind of like, why didn't you just hide? You're trying to avoid being known.
Yeah.
Why are you attacking something? It was just bizarre. It looked like they actually didn't use the actor almost. Like they CGI'd the entire thing. It was all sort of weird looking. It's kind of like... there's this... I can't remember the name of it now. There's a surfing movie with Kate Bosworth in Blue Crush.
Okay.
There's a scene in there where there's a girl surfing and they CGI Kate Bosworth's face on, and it's a bit out of angle. It's not quite right. It's just the worst CGI I've ever seen in any film. Any film. And I was sitting in there, and that's the first thing I thought of. I just gone, this is worse than that fucking scene in that film. I just gone, this is worse than Blue Crush. What's going on? So I'm expecting to see Katie Bosworth surfing in the Aquaman film. Because it was just. I actually don't know why they had to do it.
No.
Like just showing those symbols on the laptop screen.
That would have been enough, yeah.
That's enough. Everyone knows what.
And the symbols look like a fifth grader had made those logos.
Yeah, it looks like a fifth grader's things that they post on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's
I wasn't. And why would Lex make logos of that? He should just put the names.
Yeah, it's kind of like, he's sitting there on Photoshop.
I shall call this guy the Flash, and I'll put a lightning bolt.
Yeah, it's kind of Yeah,
that didn't make sense.
Yeah, and I wasn't familiar with the Cyborg C logo, which they use. I hadn't seen anything like that
C
before.
with the red dot.
Yeah, I don't know whether or not I'm not involved with the character enough, so I didn't recognize that straight away. But then as soon as I looked at it, I just gone, that's Cyborg.
It should just been like blurry photos of them.
Yeah,
instead of the videos.
Yeah, they should have made that look realistic.
Yeah,
like in terms of just having Windows or Mac folders with stuff on it.
Yeah, that interface looked really odd.
Yeah, it was, and that's one of my pet peeves with films when they make this fake kind of
interface,
this user interface on a computer. Just like you've got real computers that's realistic to the audience. Yeah, just use that.
Yeah, just use a Mac.
It's just crazy. So that was another problem with the film.
Yeah,
those moments where it's just. This is like a marketing person getting in there and just going, no, you've got to make sure we need a minute of Aquaman in this film. We need a minute of Cyborg in this film, and it's just this formulaic thing rather than worrying about whether it adds anything to the narrative of the film, which it actually, in the end, leaving it as just folder logos on the screen would have done more for intrigue for the films than actually showing them. Yeah. So it's just...
Because you have your imagination running, what's it going to look like?
It's like they don't want the audience to have any imagination anymore. Yeah. Like they think that we need everything shoved at us. Yeah. It's like, just don't do it. Like, if you show us those things, when we get home from the film...
We're going to be thinking,
we'll be searching on Google for all this stuff.
Yeah.
Put something on the internet. Make a little... Like a viral site for each of the characters that people have to search for, and like it gets shared in forums. Just go, there's this site I found. Rather than just going, here's Aquaman, here's Cyborg. Just
Green Lantern wasn't there?
No. Well, Ryan Reynolds was too busy on Deadpool to get involved. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they reboot Green Lantern in the DC world.
It's going to be the Green Lantern Corps movie.
Yeah, so it'll be quite difficult to mix it in. With what they're doing at the moment, so
I think it's all over the place right now. DC's slate.
Still worried about. Obviously, DC have got their TV down pat. That's their thing.
Yep.
Still worried about DC films. Now I'm worried about Suicide Squad. Even though the trailer that we saw before the film, which is a little bit different to ones I've seen before.
David Ayer is a complete different director to Zack Snyder, so.
But you still got the same DC marketing team behind them. So,
and there's going to be Batman in it.
And it's kind of a little bit of what I'm beginning to get worried about with Civil War could potentially happen with Suicide Squad, where you've got 2 hours, you've got so many characters that you never build anything with so many characters.
Because Civil War is more characters than Age of Ultron.
Yeah, so it's kind of like in professional wrestling parlance, there are wrestlers that can build through a match and develop the heat and stuff through the match, and there's wrestlers who they call spot wrestlers who just do big moves all the time to excite the things. And I think these movies might be spot films where you get these big fights for like a few minutes, and then they'll short piece of narrative, and then another big thing will happen, and it's kind of this Michael Bay kind of formulaic explosion.
Yeah, because like in the trailer, you see them in the Civil War trailer, you see them running at each other. Yeah, and I think maybe after that he calls in Spider-Man.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, again, we know that at the end of the Civil War,
they're going to be friends.
They're all going to be friends. Like there's no Civil War. Yeah. It's just it's all just a misunderstanding. They'll be fine.
My mom's name is Grace. That's my mom's name.
That's my name's Grace. Jesus, wouldn't surprise me. God, I still hate myself for realizing that. Like, it's really sticking in my gut.
Everything hinged on the name of his mom,
Martha.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a T-shirt just with Martha.
My mom's name is Martha.
My mum's name is Martha too.
That's a good t-shirt.
That is on the logo for the podcast. My mum's name is Martha too. That's what we put on there.
My mom's name saved my life.
Yeah, my mum's name saved my life. Just crazy shit. So, at the end of the day, Superman versus Batman is a bit of a...
It was a letdown for me.
It's a bit of a PG-13 type DC film, which usually DC films are a bit more adult orientated.
Well, they're going to release the R-rated one with the Blu-ray.
Oh, they will?
Yeah.
Well, that could be better.
Yep.
I hope it's better. Cause
an extra 30 minutes of footage.
Yeah, because as harsh as this sounds... Star Wars versus Batman. That'd be a good film. God, I'm tired. Superman versus Batman is an abomination of a film.
I give it. What's your score? Oh, wait, before that, what about the other actors who stood out?
Oh, the other actors stood out. We got Ben Affleck. We have to talk a little bit about Lex Luthor, and there's just no rhyme. There's no story as to why he's doing what he's doing. There's no rhyme and reason behind it. Yeah. There's no explanation behind his motives or what he's doing.
Where he just speaks to the Senate out of the blue, and then
whilst in most, in the narratives I'm used to seeing and reading, he's you know exactly what Lex Luthor's endgame is all the time. You know what he's aiming for, why he's doing what he's doing, and you can almost see his steps before he's going to do them because he's that calculating. He's like a genius. Yep. Whilst this one's kind of like that unhinged, almost like they wanted to merge the Joker and Lex Luthor into a
exactly. Yeah.
He was unhinged.
That was the same kind of persona.
Yeah, he just wasn't quite Lex Luthor, and it's just like, and that's why I've come to peace with that. This is an origin story for Lex Luthor, because at the end when they shaved his head, that was the genuine Lex Luthor. This was the lead into. This was like what made Lex Luthor the real villain. So maybe in future his persona will be the Lex Luthor that we're used to. But that didn't help this film because I didn't explain any of that. No. So I just assumed that this version of Lex Luthor was shit.
He was a Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah. It was like. You mean the guy that owns Facebook is trying to destroy the world? Yeah, he is. Both in this film and in the real world. It's just you never got to the point where Lex Luthor's the grand villain that you know he is. Yep. He's at the end of it, he's kind of like that initial Lex Luthor is kind of like, I hope he's not in anything else. Yep. If I see that Lex Luthor we saw last night in another film, then I'm out.
He has to be more articulated, more calculated, more...
Yeah. And
more calm.
At the end, when he's kind of changed a little bit, again, you just get that little flick of it. You don't really understand, has his mindset changed? It's kind of... Do we now have to sit through another... introduction into what this character is all about in this film in the next time he shows up? Don't know. Not that the acting of it was necessarily bad, but whoever wrote
the acting was good.
Yeah, whoever wrote it wrote that character in that way. They just fucked it up. So this movie could have really been called Lex. Yeah. And it would have had more. It would have
Lex versus Batman versus Superman versus Wonder Woman.
Yeah, like if they called it Lex, then it would have been more easy to understand what the film's about. Because it's actually him that's trying to manipulate everything. It's not actually Batman and Superman. It's Lex emerging as a villain and manipulating people. Yeah. So it's just
But the way it was written, the way he was manipulating them, wasn't that great. Like, you didn't feel like he was really manipulating them. It seemed like it was like child's play. Yeah. When he sends the messages to Bruce and the photographs to Superman. Yeah. He was like, oh, that's it? Yeah. Anybody could have done that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's kind of like, it feels, I'm concerned about the other DC films. I mean, Suicide Squad comes out
August 5th.
So Wonder Woman's out next year, followed by the Justice League film.
Yep. And then Flash and Aquaman, 2017.
I think so, yeah. So I think we have rights to be worried about those films, especially based on the little introductions we got to a lot of those.
Really worried.
But then again, this film, I guess you can say this film has found the low ebb that...
Can it go any lower than that?
There's only one rung lower than where this film's at, in my opinion. That's to completely make a mockery of the
Justice League.
Of the Justice League, and you churn out something like the Green Lantern films. Like Zack Snyder has found they've bottomed out. If this is what the bottom of DC films is now, then we'll be all right.
Yeah.
So if this is the bottom rung, like I gave this film a 6.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's harsh.
I give it a 4.
Or generous. Yeah. I think it sits in that middle range in there somewhere. But it suffers from 3 years of hype, obviously. But then again, the film suffers in that they had so long to edit and get this thing right.
And 3 years, like a year to edit?
Yeah, like
1 year.
You can't be running this thing through focus group. Like, what focus groups they use? They can't be DC fans or Superman fans. They must be generic audiences. And if their focus groups are ticking off and saying, this is good, then they need to change their entire mechanisms by which they get these focus groups in, because it's not right.
Because if the DC fans love them, then everybody else is going to love them.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm a DC fan and I didn't like it at all.
All of the hype for films is based around the DC fandom.
Yeah.
So if you build the movies based around satisfying that, then the hype will explode when the movie comes out. You let them down, and it'll crush that film with an inch of its life. So, and that's what all existing franchises suffer.
Yeah.
Like Star Wars could have gone that way as well. The Force Awakens, like there was lots of. Early on, I know there was lots of things for fandom where they're just gone, this is too derivative, this is whatever. But at the end of the day, when you watch that film over and over, you understand why they did it, what it was, and it actually was to satisfy the Star Wars film base, and that's why it exploded.
Yep.
Because everyone was satisfied in the end. Whilst it was derivative, that's okay because you're giving me what I wanted. What I wanted, and people that aren't familiar with it got that great storyline and narrative basis that everyone loved in the other films. So it's a good starting point for young kids.
Yeah.
So, but we didn't get that with this film. If you didn't know Superman and Batman from a bloody bum on the street, then you'd be going, this movie's going to go straight to DVD in a couple of weeks.
You even fell asleep. I was looking at you.
Yeah. I was. There was a scene in the middle where we still don't know why Clark Kent walked up. Was he in his Clark Kent outfit at that point, or Superman walked up the mountain to see Park Kent?
Oh yeah, he was on his lunch break and then he went up to the Himalayas.
Yeah.
And then Perry White was looking for him.
Yeah.
Where's Kent?
Yeah. Where's Kent?
Oh, he's gone up to the Himalayas for a walk.
He's just gone for a hike up the Himalayas. It just so happens his dad's at the peak making some random rock pile. At this point in the film, I was struggling to really focus, and I nodded off for at least 20 seconds. I think it's like
Kevin Costner makes an appearance.
Kevin Costner.
Making a pile of rocks.
And he's probably working on Waterworld too. Anyway, that's kind of
that didn't make any sense, that scene. Like,
I don't know why that scene was in there either. I don't know. Now, just to let everyone know, also, there's no end of credit scene.
No, just walk off.
So as soon as the end films, you can just walk out and
get to your car and get out of there.
And you run for your lives. That's about it. We got no more to say.
Martha Kent was too hot.
Oh yeah, his mum. Yeah, Martha Kent is too hot. I think she's got really good skin. Yeah, for an older lady. It's like it's glistening.
Yeah.
So, Lois Lane, I suppose Lois Lane was a little bit annoying.
Yeah.
I think most of those kind of characters in these comic films, like Kirsten Dunst and all those kind of characters are kind of becoming. It's kind of their shtick that they're this annoying kind of character, kind of put in the mix. So she has, as we said before, though, she has got that super hearing. So
yeah.
so it's good.
From 50 feet away.
Yeah, it's very handy to have. Very handy. So
Maybe she's a metahuman or something.
yeah, maybe she's a metahuman.
That's why Flash said she's the key.
Yeah, maybe Cisco will come in from the Flash thing with his metahuman detector, and then he can sort shit out. So yeah, but it'd be interesting to see how many of those type of characters from kind of the lesser known type of characters within the DC universe, like and some of the villains even like Killer Frost in the Flash and all that kind of stuff, and Vibe actually come in some way at some point to the DC movie universe, even if it's just cameos.
Different actors, obviously.
Yeah, different actors, but use them in like different type of films, almost like
Suicide Squad type of movie.
Yeah, Suicide Squad, where you kind of bring them in just for an episode, like, and then you just let them go, or even not even a single film, just a part of a film where you just use their skill base for something.
They should bring like Black Canary into the mix. Yeah, it's kind of similar to what, I guess, this is off course a little bit, but in the old days with the original He-Man cartoon series, like Skeletor always had like his two head henchmen, and then he'd bring in someone with some particular skill to try and pull off a heist or something. Oh yeah, something like that. Yeah, just bring in those specialized characters to try and build a narrative of a film for, like, if they need to achieve a goal early on in the film. Oh, we need that guy's skills to do that, and they bring him in and then they take him out. So for like a big sequence.
Yeah. So just use that because and Marvel. Obviously, Marvel seem to be using their lesser kind of known characters for their TV series, actually, which is good because you haven't got that. Whilst now all Marvel TV shows are hyped because of Jessica Jones and Daredevil.
Well, the Netflix TV shows, except for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is shit.
Yeah. But I mean, like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. does kind of tie into the films a bit more, whilst Netflix is obviously very much focused on the lesser characters that people don't know about, which I think kind of gives them a freedom to build stories however they want in a particular way and not have... Well, I think they might have difficult going forward. Now everyone expects like Iron Fist and Luke Cage and stuff to be like amazing.
Yeah. Which I think they will.
Yeah, they will.
Because they have the freedom to do what they want.
Yeah, so whilst there's not necessarily hype around the characters and there's not a huge fan base around them, well, I guess Marvel fan base is massive, but in terms of like
secondary character.
Yeah, in terms of like the overall Marvel universe, they're secondary characters. So it'd be interesting to see how they treat those shows, whether or not they're the same kind
especially
of...
Especially when they have to treat Iron Fist with mysticism and magic, and how they're going to bring that into a Daredevil type of world. Yeah, well, it'd be interesting because they kind of... They brought in that mysticism and stuff this year into this season of Arrow, and it worked quite well. So obviously that's very much a kind of weekly episodic TV show rather than what Netflix do. Netflix is 13 episodes.
Like Netflix is a TV series effectively, but it's kind of like a tier above. To me, it's kind of like an extended mini-series that kind of sits in between film and television. More than what the stuff on with Flash, CW, Flash and Gotham and all those guys do, which is TV. So, so I don't like comparing them in that sense because not quite a fair comparison. Like if you sat down and wanted to make an Arrow series, and we're just going to release it on Netflix, and we're not going to have an annual thing where it doesn't have to be out by this date. It doesn't have to air in this time. We don't have to worry about ads and ratings and all this stuff. It's just for this. We can do whatever we want with it. You get a very different Arrow. So, see. But we mentioned all these shows because obviously last week Daredevil came out.
And I binge watched it. I finished it at 2 a.m.
Yeah. I have watched the first few episodes. Didn't get to finish it. So we were possibly intending to do a Daredevil chat in this podcast, but...
Since we ranted about
the Superman and stuff, and we didn't really want to do another 5-hour podcast, you guys. We're gonna save that till next time and get Jim Bob.
Yeah, he'll have to do a binge.
He'll have to do a binge. Now, this
Join the
is,
binge club.
we didn't mention him at the start, Jim Bob. We mentioned him at the end here. He's missed his
He's
third.
not here.
He's not here.
He's down in Phillip
I was
Island.
actually,
I'm actually going there tonight. I might run into him.
yeah, he's down at Phillip Island. Jono's on his way to Phillip Island. I was actually going to, I actually thought of something good to do the other day. I was actually going to get the, your Wookiee cup. And every time I asked, I was going to have a fake Jim Bob in here today and just ask him a question, and all his answers are in Wookiee. So yeah, but Jim Bob will be back in the next episode. So we'll talk about a little bit of music and stuff in there as well. We'll hear about his travels down the rock pools.
The empty rock pools.
The empty rock pools. We received some beautiful photos of empty rock pools. Jono's off to Phillip Island this
Tonight,
weekend for Easter, so we'll get more pictures of rock pools. Maybe we'll do a rock pool special on Instagram or something. It'd be awesome. We'll do a
Find
montage.
some creatures in the rock pools.
If we take enough pictures of the rock pools and all the different colours, we could maybe do like if we piece them all together small, we can make like a montage of Batman or something out of the rock pools.
I should Photoshop Batman onto the rock pools.
Yeah.
I should take my pins, my bowling pins.
Yeah, you
Replace
should.
them, take
You
pictures.
should. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. And then what am I up to? I've here in Australia, the AFL season starts tonight, so I'm off to the Richmond Carlton games
Tonight?
So that'll be very exciting. And then most of the weekend is going to be spent catching up on Daredevil and
You got to get through that because you're on episode. Was it 3?
3.
Yeah, episode 4 is the big fight.
So that's good.
Four fights,
catch up on some 11/22/63. Probably some vinyl.
What's her name?
Sarah Gadon.
Sarah Gadon.
I was getting confused with Gal Gadot.
Gadot.
Jesus, a lot of.
Is it Gadot or is it Gadot?
I pronounce it Gadot, just because I think it's Frenchish thing.
She's Israeli.
French Israeli. I don't
French
know.
Israeli.
I don't know. I just assume it's Gadot.
Okay.
So I'll be catching up with those shows. 11/22/63. Really enjoying that show. Really fun.
Oh, and I'm gonna watch Star Wars because it's been on the torrents.
Oh God. Jeez, don't say that.
Nah, I got the Blu-ray. I'm not gonna watch the torrents.
Yeah.
one.
Well, I've already purchased the Blu-ray, so even if I do torrent it, I bought it anyway.
Yeah.
So just getting it early.
Well, I watched it so many times. I guess I'm eligible to download it.
Well, I paid bloody 7 times.
Yeah.
Jesus. And I bought another Star Wars cup last night in my bloody thing because the Batman cups stunk, didn't they?
What was that? That was just the logo on the side.
There's a
And
logo
then it
on
was split in the middle.
and the split so you could get 2 flavoured drinks in there. And then when I opened mine up, they had this little filter flaps at the top, and it broke off and fell into the cup. It's like, I'll be right. I'll just grab the BB-8 cup, thanks.
It was like a protein shaker.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on with those, but there's definitely no tin popcorn things. That was weird. It's weird that they have them for Deadpool and not for Batman and Superman.
Maybe they ordered it late. Maybe it'd be in next week or something.
Yeah, maybe they're just got a warehouse of tins that everybody sold. So,
What about your Star Wars collection?
my Star Wars collection. Yeah, that is heading towards completion.
Yeah.
Right now, I've got.
You need to document that and put it on the site.
Yes, I do. I'm going to. I've actually got to take some photos for insurance purposes.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to put a kind of. I guess it's kind of a live checklist on the website, let everyone know where I'm at with everything, and I'm still building my glass cabinets at the moment to display them all in. So,
From IKEA.
From IKEA, friends at IKEA. If you're going to. Geez, walking around IKEA is a maze. It's like I walked in there to get my niece's birthday present the other day, just in the toy section. Then I realised I walked in, I kind of looked around, and I kind of walked around a couple of loops, and it's like, I've lost. And then I kind of got back to the path, and I had to walk through the entire thing just to get out. It's like they ended up buying like these cushion covers and all this kind of stuff, and just going, I don't even want any of this shit. just going, it's a trap. It's a trap.
Hey, once you get in, you got to go through all of that to get to that.
You've got to see everything. You've got to walk through everything. I did buy a couple of. I've got to a couple of my Star Wars figurines are cooked to plastic sold. They go that yellow color.
Yep.
So I bought this big vat of peroxide. So I'm going to drop a few of them in peroxide to make them white again.
Ah.
So I got some nice glass jars because my Wampa, like the Hoth Wampa, he's like, it's like his top half. He's been smoking durries for like 20 years. So he needs a good clean. And even my
on the durries.
even my Tauntaun, like I got the Tauntaun with the. They've released two of them. One of them was a solid one, and one of them's got a rubber belly we can stick it in, like it opens up. Yeah. And that rubber's gone all, just the rubber bit's gone all yellow. So I've got to clean that up as well.
How do you clean that?
I don't know how I'm going to do that. I might have to just rub it on and just leave it in the sun so the peroxide works and just do that a few days. To see. I'm going to try and just clean it first, but we'll see. I think I need to use some peroxide just to light, because it should be white. Yeah. And now it's that cigarette yellow. So we'll see. But it's coming along nicely. I've got some... I was actually at a figurine meet when I was coming back last week. I stopped by in Springvale Town Hall. Oh, yeah.
That was last week.
I just wanted to see what Star Wars stuff was there. I've kind of got OCD at the moment, so I just didn't want to go through and not know that I didn't miss out on some figurine I'm missing or something. So I went through there, and I actually, lucky I did, because they're, Just Collectibles, that store we went to, he was there. And he had just got a new Jabba the Hutt like playset, the one with Jabba and all the smoking.
Oh, the whole set.
Yeah, with him sitting on the slab. Shit, so I got that for under $100. So I was really stoked. So that was one of my key things I never had.
You could have that during Christmas as the chamber, the manger scene.
Yeah, it'd be perfect. So still there's some figurines that the last 17 figures that they released, which is they released all the Return of the Jedi ones. Which had all the Return of the Jedi cards in them, and then the movie had kind of died off, and then they released another 17 figures to try and boost sales again. But by then, there was no movies or anything left. There was just the Star Wars, the Christmas special, and Caravan of Courage to deal with, like some Ewok films and some cartoons and stuff. But they kind of release those, but it all died off already, so there wasn't that many. Obviously, they're hard to get. So I've got, of that last 17, I've got 8.
Yep.
And then and they're more the kind of cheaper ones. So now it's kind of like, this is kind of once every, now I've got to spend $200 for a figure to getting it. Now it's like once every 6 months I'm buying a figure. So it's like, I've still got to buy an X-Wing. Okay. Like a proper X-Wing where Luke can sit in. I got Darth Vader's TIE Fighter the other day. So that was fun. And I've still got to get the Rancor, like the big thing. Actually, spewing. I when I bought Jabba the Hutt's thing, like Howlett, he had a Rancor there for $60 as well. I just thought, I can't spend $160. And then I was leaving, and I was in the car, and I wasn't feeling great, but I was happy with my thing there. And it's kind of like, oh God, my Jabba, and I'm driving away, and I'm just like,
should I turn back?
I actually pulled off into a turning lane at one point. And it was kind of quiet on Springvale Road in the afternoon. And it was kind of like, I pulled over. I was like, I'll go back. And I was like, nah, you can't spend $60. And now I was just thinking, I'm going down on Saturday. I'm going to see if he's got the Rancor for $60. Because I looked on eBay and it's kind of like, they're on $90, $100. Yeah. Just going, this Rancor was in perfect condition. I'm just going, please say you haven't sold it.
Just be there.
Yeah, it's just like, it's just quite weird. Like, I hadn't really seen too many other figures at a fair before, but there's lots of Star Wars stuff there this time. A lot of it was kind of in a little bit of mangy order. Yeah. The one thing I did buy, I should have brought it in when I was a kid. I had this Star Wars. It was like C-3PO and R2-D2. It's like this little book, and it's kind of like Star Wars explained science, and like they explained the planets and gravity and all this shit. I was just like, oh, I haven't seen this, and it's kind of like, I'm buying that for $10. Done. So that was good. There's lots of like just things that. You forget how much shitty Star Wars stuff was brought out. It's like, geez, this is rubbish. What is this? And then, it's amazing. Just how much people are willing to pay for like even broken stuff. Yeah. It's just insane. And then sometimes you don't think there's anything else. There was lots of good, cool old Ghostbusters stuff there, actually. Like from the cartoon, the real Ghostbusters, this guy had a stand there. And like cool Slimer and all that kind of stuff. And just like, and Ecto-1 and all that kind of stuff there. It was good. And there's this really expensive, big model of the DeLorean there. Yeah. Doors opening and all the detail and stuff in there. Shit. Actually, the car seats were soft.
Was it a remote control?
No, it's just like mounted on a thing.
Oh, shit.
It's just like, that'd be good. But it's so big that it's kind of like, what would you do with it?
When you moved the steering wheel, did the wheels turn?
No, I was too scared. I didn't want to break it. If I broke it, I had to buy the damn thing. Yeah, so that was a good day. Like when I was there, I was talking to a few people. It's kind of like you realise that there's not being really deep into the collecting community until now because I kind of had my Star Wars stuff away. It's kind of like, there's still a really strong community of guys around. So I'm looking forward to meeting a few more guys and going down to some. I think me and Jim Bob talked about going down to Armageddon or the Australian Comic Book Expo, whatever, in a few months' time in August. I think September. Can't remember when it is. Yeah, so hang out there and see what's going on.
And Comic Con is before that.
Yeah,
you got to go for that.
Yeah, Oz Comic Con at the.
Take some photos.
Do some cosplay stuff. Be good. See how it goes. Anyway, that's the end of the show. We've rambled on a bit at the end.
Sorry if we've sounded a bit drowsy.
Yeah, we are tired. This is, buddy. Well, we got.
We're doing it for you guys.
You've hardly slept.
Yeah.
I got woken up at 9.
Had to go and bloody paint some shit.
Yeah, you've had to paint the house. And that's it. We'll be back in a couple of weeks' time with Daredevil.
Yeah.
And numerous other things. We shall see you then.
Laters.
Damn you, Zach.
I'm going to sleep now.
All the world is waiting for you and the power you possess.